Hello friends, welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're going to make ultimate peanut butter and chocolate cookies. So everything you see on my counter is what we're going to use to make these, and I got to tell you, if you like peanut butter and chocolate, this is for you. This has such a great taste. They're just amazing cookies you can make at home that have the flavor if you actually had someone make, expensive ones for you. These just have the best taste to them. And we're going to actually melt chocolate to put on the bottom of the cookie and then drizzle some on top, and it's going to be like, wedging that peanut butter right in the middle. It has the best taste. So we're going to preheat our ovens to 350 degrees because it takes 11 to 12 minutes to cook these, and we're going to put 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour in a bowl, then 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and we're going to whisk this until we get it totally mixed together, like maybe 30 seconds worth, just to make sure everything is distributed properly, because it is all-purpose flour, so we needed something to help it rise like baking powder. But go ahead and mix this up, and then we're going to move to a second bowl, which we are going to include everything else in that. So set the first one aside, and we're going to start with 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, which we actually can melt down a little bit in the microwave to get it ready to go. And then after that, we are going to add 1 cup of brown sugar to this, and then we're going to add 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. And then once this is in the bowl, we're going to go ahead and mix this a bit with the mixer just to try to incorporate the butter and all the sugars together before we do anything else to it. So go ahead and mix this around. Make sure that if there are any lumps in your brown sugar, you break them up with the mixer before we add the next steps to this. Now, once we get this totally sorted through here, we are going to add in 2 eggs to this, and we're going to go ahead and make sure we break up those yolks and get them mixed in as well. And then as you keep going, we're going to add more ingredients to this, but I like to mix as I go just to make sure that everything gets incorporated and we don't have anything sticking around to the side that didn't get added in properly. So go ahead and mix this for a second to make sure those eggs are completely mixed into your bowl. Now, as you can see, this is getting really light and fluffy, and that's what we want to see this do as we're going along. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and add 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. We're not doing crunchy, we're just going for straight out creamy. Tip, if you're trying to get this out of your bowl, spray it with some nonstick cooking spray before you put it in to measure it, and you'll know what you got right there. And then afterwards, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to this, and then we're going to mix again. So that way we can get this totally mixed in. And then we're going to take, once it's completely mixed, our dry ingredients and bring them into the bowl. And I'm only dumping in about half, and then I'm going to mix it and then bring the other half in, because I want to make sure that this stuff really mixes through and we don't have flour going everywhere as this is happening. So go ahead and mix it. Once you get the first batch mixed in, bring in the rest of the powdered stuff into this again, because your dry ingredients, I don't believe in dumping the whole thing in at once, because sometimes it really doesn't mix really easily. But if you split it up and you bring in the flour and everything, dump part of it, mix it, then bring the rest in, it actually works a little better for you as far as mixing something together, especially like a cookie, which is drier. Now, I mean, if you're doing cake mix or something, it'd be totally different. However, we want to go ahead and mix this together until we get everything incorporated, and everything in the bowl kind of looks a lot like it's just peanut butter. So as we go along, you can scrape the sides of your bowl, and I will be doing that as I go through mine. And we just want to make sure everything is mixed together. Now, if you haven't already preheated your oven, you need to get that going at about 350 degrees, just to make sure it's hot enough before we get to the point of using this. So go ahead and keep mixing, and as you scrape your sides, make sure we get all the way to the bottom, make sure that everything is being mixed in. So I like to do this for at least like a minute or so to 2 minutes to really get it mixed, and that way we know that every part of the ingredients are mixed through, and you're not going to have anything to the side that didn't get mixed. So in the end, just go ahead and take a spatula, run around your bowl, pull this all into the center, and once we're done with this, we're going to get ready to use this dough that we made up to actually make the cookie part of this. So go ahead and scrape it through, make sure everything is there, and it should be kind of creamy. The best thing is you don't have to put this in the refrigerator. You can if you want to. This, it's going to be set up enough to use straight out of this. So I'm taking a medium-sized cookie scoop, taking this, once I get it in a ball shape, bring it over to a plate where I put some granulated sugar on it, which basically you need probably about 3/4 of a cup. and just go ahead and roll these out to get them coated on the outside, because we want the whole outside of them to be coated in sugar before they go to our baking pan. And when we get to the baking pan, you're going to need at least 2 decently large baking pans, so that way you can like rotate these as they're going, because we're going to make a few of these. And I put parchment paper on mine because it helps when you're baking. So it's just one of those things where, you know, it's less cleanup for you if you use the parchment paper. And once these are ready, then we'll move them to the pan. Now, once we get them onto our pan, as you're seeing here, I'm going to leave room between them because these do spread out a bit. We don't want them touching because, you know, they're going to glue themselves together. So go ahead and just leave yourself a little bit of room between them. And like I said, make up 2 pans, and you can alternate them as you're baking these off. And like I said, 350 degrees for 11 to 12 minutes. And then once these are baked, they're going to come back, and we need them to cool before we can do anything with them. So I'm using my almond bark chocolate here, which I have about 3/4 of a cup. You could actually make up to a cup of this if you really wanted to add a lot of chocolate to the outside. But you want to go ahead and cut this up because you don't want these to go in there in huge pieces, because we're going to do this at 20-second bursts to melt it. But you want it to melt evenly and not burn on the bottom, because some of them were huge pieces weren't melting enough. Now we're going to add to this a tablespoon of coconut oil, which is going to help the chocolate set up, and it's just going to be a lot better and have a better sheen to the outside of it when it's done. So once we get our chocolate into our bowl, then we're going to go ahead and add in our coconut oil, put it over top. If you don't have coconut oil, you could use vegetable oil if you wanted to use that. So like I said, 20-second bursts to actually get this melted down, and stir in between as you go along until you get it to a point where this is completely melted. And when you do, it looks something like this. So what we're going to do is take a spoonful of chocolate and put it down onto some parchment paper, and then we're going to take a cookie and set it right down in there and push down in the center, because that's going to make that chocolate spread all the way around the bottom of the cookie. It's no muss, no fuss. You don't have a lot of mess going into it this way. And we're going to do this for each one of the cookies until we go through the whole stack of them. So it's going to take a second to get this done. But the best thing about it is once your cookies are cooled, they're ready for this to happen. Can't do this with a hot cookie though, because that won't set up properly. But as you let these sit on the parchment paper, they're going to cool, and then you'll be able to just pop these off as soon as they're done. And the only other thing we're going to do to the cookies is actually drizzle some chocolate on one side of the top. So it's really not that hard to do. But once we get to the point of doing that, which is right about now, you can just go ahead and drizzle across one side of it. Looks kind of cool that way, but it tastes amazing because these just have the best taste to them, for the fact that the chocolate has just a really wonderful taste to it, but I think a little bit of the coconut oil adds something to it, and then the peanut butter cookie as well. It just works together. And these are something really cool to have around the snack around, because you have a bunch of these coming out of this, and this is what it looks like when they're done. As you see to the side, I had the one with the chocolate on the bottom, and these just had the best taste, and I think you just might like them. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out the Southern Mountain Kitchen website, where you can get a free recipe, check out the cookbooks available from the Southern Mountain Kitchen, and if you'd like to, you could order a cookbook at a discounted price, cheaper than Amazon, with shipping that is also cheaper than Amazon. So if you get a chance, check it out, and I hope you have a great day.